here at the Ground Round on a gloomy Wednesday, February 6th. It's the Meet the Candidates night. A lot of candidates are running with opponents for the City Council in April, and this is Wayne Kling. Wayne, you're running against Donna Evans in April. We talked with Don a little bit earlier. You and I talked a lot. Why is it so important for you, Wayne, to continue to be a part of the council?
Well, Greg, there's things that I would like to follow up on, some of the things that I put on agenda, and one of them is the restoration of that Boy Scout log cabin. That's important to me as well as the citizens of Tomah. And we've raised $8,000. The community has participated in that, raising the funds for the restoration of that cabin, and I'd like to see that it is going to be in the 2020 budget for renovation, so whatever is raised will be put towards the city's monies to restore that building. That's one of the things. Plus the other things, I like to be part of Tomah's growth. And we have a lot of infrastructure in the city of Tomah that is being planned, and the master plan for the city of Tomah on Superior Avenue is taking effect. We'll be putting a new lighting system in this year. So a lot of things that are being planned in the future need to be looked at and voted on, and to bring Tomah more, a bigger population. Our goal is to be about 10,000 or a little over 10,000. That'll help with the city's tax revenue, and it'll help the taxpayers also as far as the taxes will be lower the more population we have.
Okay, now I've talked with all the candidates. Marianne Comiskey is not here tonight, but I talked with everybody else, Wayne, including yourself, Tina Thompson from the Chamber, Mayor Mike Murray. So let me ask what I ask all the other people that are running for council, getting their feedback. And 2019, later this year, you know what's going to happen. The ATV will come back, that issue on your agenda. What's your take on that?
Well, I've had many of my constituents contact me in regarding to this. The biggest problem I have with that is the safety issue. I don't have a problem with it as long as routes are established and they don't infiltrate the city streets themselves. So that's where I stand, and a lot of my constituents stand on those grounds too. So I guess we'll have to see if people can communicate and call, every one of them call their councilman after April and express how they feel about ATVs. That'll give the councilman a better idea on how to vote, whether to have ATVs or whether not to have ATVs.
All right, you're almost at the end of your first 2-year term on the council, Wayne. What have you learned in 2 years that you didn't realize you would learn by being on the council? What jumps out almost 2 years in your first term that surprised you, and now you know all about it? What would that be?
The workings of the government in itself. Anyone running for councilman is not going to, they may have ideas on what they would like to be implemented, but they don't know the process that it takes to get something done. We now have a historical preservation ordinance and a committee where we didn't have it before I became councilman. And that took about a year to get implemented by contacting the State Historical Society and having them put a presentation for the council to see the benefits of having a historical preservation ordinance. That goes along with the certification, the state certification for tax incentives for businesses that want to improve their business by having 20% off their state income tax and 20% off their federal taxes.
Right now we're at the ground round. It's a Meet the Candidates night going on in the other room for all the candidates that are running either unopposed or opposed for City Council in April. And this is kind of your thing because you mingle, you talk to people, and you're good at that, aren't you? You love talking to people. Let me ask you this. When you've been talking, I know you've been here for about an hour mingling with people. Wayne, is there a concern or concerns out there that you're hearing from the people?
Well, the obvious one is that people don't want their taxes raised.
Sure.
That's number one, and they want transparency in the city government as well as state and federal. But they want dedicated people that are going to embrace community projects. People need to volunteer for certain organizations and get some fulfillment out of that. Now, my family's been here since 1859, and they have contributed to this community. But I want to see growth happen. I want to see that people can come to Tomah and say, wow, this is a nice place to live. Now, we're having I'm running for school board as well as councilman.
Yes.
And the big thing right now with school board is whether, and it's on a referendum, whether we're going to have a junior ROTC program.
Correct.
Within a package of other things that are related to the school functions, right?
Correct.
So that's a very good thing. It'll be a first for Tomah, plus a first for northern Wisconsin, because there's none above Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We only have 5 in the state, a junior ROTC program. And that is good for Milwaukee and Kenosha area and some private schools. But we have some major issues in our high school right now where a junior ROTC program would correct a lot of behavior problems. And I'm saying a junior ROTC program is a citizen program. It's not so much as a recruiting tool for getting children or high school age people to be in the military. But it does have structure, it does have discipline, it does have guidance and direction, and it gives the kids more of a fulfilling direction for what they're going to do after they leave high school. It's a reward system. It's a system where they have teamwork, drill and ceremony, and they have a good sense of well-being once they finish the 4-year program. They're not committed. They can do 1 year and say this program is not for me, or they can do 4 years and gain three ranks up if they decide to go into the military. So that is very good, because right now in Tomah we have a drug problem with a lot of the juveniles. We just had it, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, at Fireman's Park. A kid had marijuana in his backpack, and he went ahead and went and met these other ones that he called up to sell his drugs to, and they beat him up, and they all got arrested, and they stole all his money and credit cards. Well, you need some kind of support and direction for these kids. They're just sometimes, not all of them, because we do have some that graduate from high school that excel very good, but for a lot of them, they got behavior problems.
All right, right now we're wrapping up out the ground round right here on Wednesday, February 6th for Meet the Candidates night, meet and greet the candidates all the candidates running for city council in April. This is Wayne Kling, who's running against Donna Evans, who we talked to earlier. Wayne, when April rolls around, prior to April, and I know you have a flyer in front of you, maybe some of the stuff you've already hit on, but what will be your platform to hope to get you reelected?
Well, the main thing is we need to preserve Tomah's history. I've always been a historian. I had a good teacher. I went to Tomah High School, and I was in a history class, and she gave me some insight into history. It's all about education. It's all about reading. A lot of people don't read enough, you know. But as far as I just want to do items that are progressive for Tomah and embrace those. That's probably the most important thing, besides making sure that the Boy Scout cabin, you know, that is on the National Historical Register, is renovated and used as a community center in addition to having the Boy Scouts. There's a lot of things that come up on the agenda, like approving liquor licenses, building permits, or different things like that. You have to be in tune with the Park and Rec and Public Works, and how all the different departments have the impact on Tomah and different committees and all that. I did want to say that my experience as being a retired from the Army has helped me a lot in making more sound decisions, but I couldn't do it any better without my constituents in my district. You know, I'm on several committees, like the Ambulance Committee, the Board of Appeals. I'm a member of the American Legion, the DAV, member of the Chamber of Commerce, and member of our museum. We have a great museum. There's a lot of things that people can embrace in Tomah, like we have a great historical society and museum. We have a great library for people to go to. We just have a good theater, an area community theater that people can go to or be part or be a member of. And so there are a lot of things that we have that other communities don't have. So you want to be supportive of those type of agencies in Tomah, you know. That's very important. I guess that's probably one of my priorities, is to make sure that they're recognized and supported, you know. The area community theater, the library, and the different other agencies in Tomah that really need help. The veterans need support. We have a veterans organization. The council just voted to help the homeless vets of $180,000, so that we can have those people recognized for their service and help out a lot of veterans. So we have a great thing. We have the VA in Tomah, and we're having a lot of infrastructure with a new hospital and a new ambulance center, where there's a little discussion on that, where it's going to be built. So I'd like to be part of that, so that we can vote for that. And we got a Gunderson Cancer Center that's coming up, and then there's talk about having a rec center, which is an indoor swimming pool. So there are a lot of decisions to make, and I hope that the people in the various council districts can express their wishes on how they want the Tomah City Council to vote.
All right, Wayne Kling, for the people who don't know Wayne, I know Wayne very well. A lifetime resident of Tomah, right?
Right.
Okay. At the high school in Tomah?
I went to high school, yes,
Okay.
in Tomah, and went in the military for 30 years. And I work at Challenge Academy, and I also work for Gloria Dippin, who has started several group homes, 2 in Tomah and 1 in Warrens, and another one that she's completing in Sparta. And these are for the mentally handicapped or behavior problem kids.
And I know you...
And when I talk kids, I'm talking
Right.
in their 20s, 21, 23 different.
Sure.
So there's a lot of support systems out there for people that need help.
Okay, Wayne, I know you take your position on the council very serious. Good luck to you in April. And thank you for sitting down and talking with me out here at the ground round on Meet the Candidates. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Greg.